Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. This is your Akim Drillazil back with another quick lesson. And this opening topic is about Psalms 30 and 6. I'm just going to it because this is the state of mind of the elites amongst Esau Edom, primarily all of Esau. Psalms 30 and 6, and it says, "And in my prosperity, I said, I shall never be moved." So that's the mentality of these Edomites, man, because their objective is what? To gain wealth to the point where no one can tell them or dictate to them what they should or shouldn't be doing. So they know if they have, or if they accumulate the wealth, no one will be in a position to deny them. I think there's if I ain't mistaken, one of these Edomites, they got I can't think who said it. I think it was the Rothschilds, if I ain't mistaken. It says, "Give me a nation's wealth." I'm just paraphrasing, and I care less who governs that country, more or less, man. So pretty much, like that's why they own, like the Rockefellers, they own the United States. Let me say the Federal Reserve. This United States currency is owned by one of those elite family, which is the Federal Reserve. They own the Rockefellers own the Federal Reserve Bank. So they don't care who's in a position, president, etc., that runs this country, or it looks like they're in charge of this country. Let me say it like that, because they run it. Because what? They control the wealth, man. They can bribe them. They can do what they need to do to put whoever they want in a position to make the situation go in their favor, because they control the wealth, man, as they call it. They control the currency. So they know what. And in my prosperity, I said I shall never be moved, man. That's the mentality. Shall never be moved. So their mentality is that no one is going to be above us. And a lot of these Babylonians here in Babylon the Great, aka America, feel that way too. They look at these Edomites as what? No one is going to be able to move them out of the way of their current position, man. But that's far from the truth. And who will is Yahweh Shai. Call this all prophecy. And I'm going to go into this right here. And I said, who are the wealthiest people in the world? And the first is what? Which people know, which we know, he's not. But they want him to be this front man, Elon Musk. They say, Elon Musk, the richest person in the world with a net worth hovering around 1 trillion, primarily derived from his stakes in Tesla and SpaceX. So he's perceived to the public as the first trillionaire. But we know, meaning the men that are in this truth, we know that's far from the truth. These people like the Rothschilds, et cetera, primarily them, they've been already hit that goal, man. They've been trillionaires, man, a long time ago. But this guy, he's the front man, And then they got, they say the top 10 richest individuals globally, according to real-time wealth tracking, includes Elon Musk, Larry Page, Sergey Brin, Jeff Bezos, Michael Dell, Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Ellison, Jensen. I'll probably pronounce his name wrong, which I'm not going to pronounce it. Number 8. Then it says Bernard Arnault and family, and it says Warren Buffett. So out of these 10, all of them are Edomites, but number 8, which he could be, but I think he's maybe Moab, Moab or Ammon, but I think he may be Moab, and he could be Edomite, But out of the 10, there's all but one possibly that are not Edomites. The rest of them are Edomites, man. So they know that obtaining what? Money, obtaining so-called wealth, they feel in their mind, which is their heart, that what? I shall never be moved. I'm going to read the Amplified verse. It says, and for me, in my prosperity, I said, I shall never be moved, man. So indeed, these devils' prosperity, man, they feel that they will never be moved, man. And a lot of these people, meaning here in Babylon the Great, aka America, these 2/3 and etc., man, that's how they look at these people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, especially here, they look as if these devils, no one's going to outrank them because they got the game rigged where they're going to what? Win. You know why? Because they set up the system. They govern the rules. You know, they act like this is a system that was set up by a disclosed individual, and then they put it out there for everybody to equally figure it out and have a fair shot at, you know, prosperity or the number one spot. These people came up, meaning these devils, they came up with this system. They dictate the rules. That means the game is rigged for them to win anyway. And now they want everybody else, especially here in Babylon the Great, to play along in a rigged game, man. They rigged the game for them to win because they know everything. They know these loopholes. They know what they need to do to win and what they need to do to prevent others from not obtaining what they are able to attain, man. They got the game rigged, man. You know, but they want to act like it's a fair open market, as they say. It's a fair market. Yeah, right, man. This market is rigged for these devils to win. Because they control the monetary system. They control everything in here. NASDAQ, stock market. You know, they control all that, man. You know, that's why they got things like they said insider trading, meaning they got people that have insight on what's really going on. That's what they call the insight from the inside. Hey, you need to do this in order to do that. Because the game is rigged, man. If you want to obtain this, or if you want to do that, you want to keep your money, things about to go sour, you need to move your money. You know, they got the game rigged, man. So they know what they need to do to stay on top. Because this is their empire, man. They're in the rulership seat right now, man. You know, but these people here want to believe that it's a fair market. There's a such thing as equality. That's nothing more than an illusion, man. You know, just like I was going in, there was a Edomite. I got a Lord willing, I make a lesson on it, but there was an Edomite. He's a politician, which I had his DVD, you know, some time ago, at least I think over a decade ago. There was a DVD of this politician. He was breaking down what you people believe to have rights are nothing more than mere privileges, man, disguised as rights, and where these so-called rights came into existence, man. Like he was explaining, you know, the gun law, the gun permit, marriage permit, those stem from what? Say for instance, the gun permit. It was explaining. It was an Edomite. I think he's like a liberal or something, if I ain't mistaken. Can't think of his name right now. But he going to it where the gun right, he said, as a white man or as a white person, he said they didn't have to have permission to carry a firearm. It was their right. It said after what? Reconstruction, when the so-called people that was in bondage, slaves, were free, they had to pass a policy where they allow certain ones to have and certain ones not to have. Because, you know, he was going to examples like, well, I think if I give him one, he's not going to shoot me. But I can look in his eyes. If I give him one, he may kill me. Talking about a white man talking to a so-called white guy talking about a so-called black guy. I seen in his eyes, he may kill me if he give me a gun, if I give him a gun. So they had to go about this gun permit, you know. And they were saying that, it's just like the marriage license. As a white person or white man, so to speak, I didn't have to have permission to marry, you know. But the interracial, they had to restrict that. So they was given permission, the marriage license, You know what I mean? So you had to have permission to be married and who to be married to. Not the so-called white man. He could do whatever he wants to. And basically what it was, so it was working so well for the Negroes, they applied it to everybody. So this is where these so-called rights, which are merely permission or privileges, let me put it like that, privileges that are disguised as rights, man. That's where they come into existence. That's why you see now these people are infringing on your so-called rights because there was nothing more than permission or privileges, man. We are giving you permission to act like this or to obtain this or to do this or to do that. And we're disguising them as rights. Because if you have the right to something, if you know what the word right means according to law, no one can deny you your rights, man. You know what I'm saying? But these people can. Because there were nothing more than mere privileges, man, disguised as rights. But like I said, that's why I mentioned this game is rigged for these devils, man. And that's how they feel. They feel as if, I'm prospering now. No one would exceed. You see the top 10 on a global. They said the top 10 on a global scale, nine out of 10 are Edomites. And the other one he could be Edomite. I don't know. But he looks like Moab, number 8. I can't even pronounce his last name. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they have the game rigged, man, and that's only by the spirit and power of Yahweh Shah, because prophecy has to take place, man. These devils, it was prophesied that these devils in the last days would be in the rulership, because the Lord is going to come down. The Lord is going to return to the world that He made to put what? To put stake in what is rightfully His, man. And then put the children of Israel on top, which it should be. Righteous, right? Well, righteousness is going to dwell, which it should be, all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shah, man. Because the Lord ordained this, man. We put it like this: the Lord ordained this. The Lord made a decree. That's why these devils are in the position that they are. Because and like I said, majority of people here, especially here in Babylon the Great, feel as though these devils, meaning these Edomites, aka white people, they're not going to be moved, man. That's why they know when it comes to anything, you can see these damn niggas. It's obvious, man. When the Edomites say anything, man, you know what these niggas do? They look the other way. They act like if they got a problem, this is how these niggas act. If you got a problem with black people, he must not be talking to me because I ain't black. Like they ain't got no issues with the Edomites for the most part, man. Because they know, and who doesn't know? Because like I said, like I mentioned, because I got it from the scriptures. When our Lord and Savior Yahweh said, whose inscription is on a penny? And it was like Caesar's. And the Lord said, render to Caesar's what is Caesar's, render to the Lord what is the Lord. So this money is these devils, man. They control the money system, man. You can look at the face on the money and tell whoever you see face on the money is in a ruler's seat, man. You see these devils face on the money, man. That means they're ruling, man. You don't see nobody else face on this money, man. Because they rule this, man. They're ruling. And you ain't going to see nobody else's face on this money, man. And if you do, it ain't nothing but a facade anyway of some instance of equality, like they would try to say at one point to put Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill or something, man. They ain't going to put that lady on a $20 bill, man. Hell nah, man. They gonna have no nigga on my. That's what they white man. I ain't gonna have no nigga on my currency. If they do, they probably want it. You better would see goddamn Edomites with a $20 bill. They probably won't even care to have a damn $20 bill in their damn pocket. But I'm gonna read this again, and I'm gonna close it out. Let me see if I can get Salakia. It says, just a New Living Translation 6 again. It says, when I was prosperous, I said nothing can stop me now. And that's the mentality of these devils, man. It says when I was prosperous, I said nothing can stop me now, man. You know, that's how they feel, like nothing can stop these devils, man. You know, there's nothing in these devils' way for them accomplishing what they're trying to obtain, man. And basically they are trying to obtain what? Just like that guy Aaron Russo stated, is what? Complete control, man. That's what they want. They want complete control, man. That's their main objective. But I'm ending off there, man. Hope the body was edified. So next time, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakak Wadash. Again, this is Sha'aki Majulazil. Lord willing, I'll be back with another lesson. Till next time, Shalom, Barakatham, and the Bible Ball. Shalom.